Words appear. Whose blind life is it anyway? In association with Sterling Creation and VIP Tech Productions present Ask Donna. Donna Jodhan answers your questions and offers you tips and tricks on being an author, an expert, a sight loss coach, and an advocate. Ask Donna, the advocate.
Hello there, it's Donna, author and sight loss coach, author Donna. And boy, oh boy, we're into the month of June. I cannot believe that we're into the month of June. Oh yes, sirree, the month of June. May wasn't too bad. The weather did improve quite a bit. We had some showers, we had some warm days, and now we are looking forward to the month of June to see what June is going to bring us, eh? Right then. So, I'm going to start, as always, by thanking my good friend, advisor, and associate Victor Guvia for giving me this opportunity to be with you on the Ask Donna show. So we have a weekly show where I wear different hats. For week 1, I wear the hat of an advocate. For week 2, I wear the hat of an author. For week 3, I wear the hat of a coach. And for week 4, I wear the hat of an expert. I'm really enjoying wearing a different hat every week, and I hope that you are enjoying what I am bringing to you every week. And I'd like to thank those of you who have taken the time to provide me with feedback by sending an email to askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. That's askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. So, for this week, we're going to be wearing the advocacy hat. But before I do so, let me tell you what the features are going to be for this month, okay? Right. For this week, we're going to be talking about examples of federal entities in Canada. For Ask the Author, which is supposed to be next week, we'll be talking about the birth of dreams. For the third week, we'll be featuring talking appliances. And for the fourth week, we'll be talking about what makes a career accessible. All right? Okay. So we're wearing the advocate's hat this week, and we're going to be talking about examples of federal entities. It's very important to know the difference between federal entities and provincial entities, because this will determine which jurisdiction you decide to play in. You know, if you're going to be filing a complaint at the provincial or federal level, or even at the municipal level. Okay? All right. So, who are some of the federal entities? Or I should say, what are some of the federal entities in Canada? To start with, we have banks, and you know your 6 largest banks, but there are other banks as well. As long as they are federally governed, that's what you're looking for. So the Royal Bank, Scotiabank, CIBC, Toronto Dominion, and Banque Nationale du Canada, that's number 5, and I'm missing a 6th one. I can't remember off the top of my head. Shame on me. Royal Bank, Scotiabank, CIBC, Toronto Dominion, Banque Nationale, and there must be a 6th one. But we have to make sure that these are all federally governed, and they are all federally governed. Oh, the 6th bank is Bank of Montreal. All right? These 6 banks are the federally governed banks. It means that they are filed under the federal jurisdiction. Okay? Airlines are also, or they also fall under the federal jurisdiction. So you have Air Canada, WestJet, Sunwing, I think Air Transat, maybe Flair, which is a smaller airline, but still it is they file under, or they come under the federal jurisdiction. And of course there may be others, but these are the main ones you got to think about. Okay? And the telecommunications carriers, Rogers, Shaw, Videotron, and there must be others, but these are the guidelines. Make sure that these types of companies are or fall under the federal jurisdiction before you decide what you're going to do, if you're going to complain against any of these under federal laws. Okay? And I will tell you that they fall under the Accessible Canada Act legislation that came into being in July 2019. And I think that all federally governed companies have until December 31st, 2022 to file their plans as to how they are going to engage and communicate with Canadians with disabilities and how they are going to execute development, design, and to fall under the W3C, not legislation, but I'm searching for words here. The W3C requirements, I should say. Okay? So those are examples of federally jurisdicted companies. All right? Hey, if you're looking to subscribe to a free monthly subscription, one where you're not only going to get technology tips, you're also going to be getting tips on non-technology information. It's the Blind Lifestyle newsletter that you need to think about. The Blind Lifestyle newsletter is one where you get tips from all different areas. Ask the coach, catch up with the coach, and of course you have your technology tips. But the beauty about this magazine is that you have a chance to read about all kinds of tips that can help you, from the home to the garden to your car to any and everything like that. How to go shopping, what's going on in the world of how to do this, how to do that, not technology oriented. Okay? So it's called the Blind Lifestyle newsletter. And if you want to subscribe, you can go to www.donnajodhan.com/subscribe. That's www.donnajodhan.com/subscribe. Okay? And you can read more at www.donnajodhan.com/tbln.html. Again, www.donnajodhan.com/tbln.html. You'll be able to read all back issues as well. And you know what? I'd like to hear from you. Really, I would. And you can write to me at askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. That's askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. Ask Donna my blind life @gmail.com. Okay? Okay, now it's time for one of my favorite things. It's called the mental stretch. And what it has to do with is that The mental stretch is based on using different senses each week, or using a different sense each week. Okay? I developed this a few months ago, and I've had a lot of success with people on this. And people have been writing to me, telling me that it is really helping out. What it is, the mental stretch, just like the physical stretch, where you stretch your arms and your legs and your back and your stomach. Well, the mental stretch is based on stretching your mind, sweeping the brain free of cobwebs, sparking your imagination, and doing everything to refresh, recharge, and regurgitate your mental psyche. All right? So it's all about sparking and stimulating. Think of it that way. Sparking and stimulating. All right. Let's use one of our senses this week to do exactly this. And we're going to use the sense of hearing. Okay? Think of this. Drums beating. Bong, 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 bong-a-dum, bong, bong, bong. Ta-bong, ta-bong, ta-bong. Ta-bong, ta-bong, ta-bong. Drums beating. Bong, bong, bong. You know what this can do? This can help you to recharge and refresh your mind. Trust me, because I have tried it several times and it works. Think of standing on a street corner and a march is coming down the road. It could be any type of march, and there are drums beating. This can stimulate you into action. It can spark your imagination. Can stimulate your mind into saying, you know what? I like the sound of this, and I am going to use this to stimulate and spark. That is what our mental stretch is all about. How about church bells pealing? Oh, nothing better to hear church bells pealing and to hear it echoing in a valley or even echoing down the street. Don't think of church bells as being sad and sorrowful. Church bells are happy times when the bride walks down the aisle and says, I do to the groom, and then they both walk out of the church, and then the bells start ringing. Bells ringing, church bells ringing. What a wonderful sound, again, to help clear the cobwebs in your mind. Okay? How about students clapping at a graduation, at a high school commencement, anything, at a concert, people clapping at their favorite sports event? Clapping, again. It really sends chills down your back. It sends chills down your legs. It sparks and it stimulates. Trust me, I have been at so many events where I hear clapping and then all of a sudden my mind is clear. Clear to think. Clear to hear. Clear to say, I'm ready to get going. Okay? Right. This is the end of my show for this week. Thank you again to my good friend Victor. And if you want, please, please, please send me an email to askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. askdonnamyblindlife@gmail.com. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great week, and we will talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Tune in every Wednesday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific for Ask Donna on Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway?